The UK's Deputy Prime Minister Dominic Raab has sensationally resigned from politics after an investigation into bullying allegations made against him by his staff and colleagues. Mr Raab didn't go quietly, criticising the flawed report and accusing a number of officials of trying to force him out.
Dominic Raab now out of government.
Are you confident you're going to clear your name?
Absolutely.
But that wasn't possible. The publication of this damning report sealing his fate and forcing the Deputy Prime Minister's resignation. 8 formal complaints about his conduct investigated by Adam Tolley KC, 2 of them upheld. The first from his time as Foreign Secretary, where his behaviour was found to be intimidating, unreasonably and persistently aggressive, and his conduct deemed an abuse or misuse of power. At the Ministry of Justice too, another complaint affirmed. Raab found to have acted in a manner which was intimidating, while his conduct was insulting. That language in keeping with the testimony I'd heard from some of those who'd seen Mr Raab's behaviour.
The way he would treat people, belittle people, interrogate people, ignore people. He created an awful atmosphere.
They were nervous about going into meetings with him because they feared having strips torn off them.
Despite the verdict, this a reluctant resignation. Dominic Raab writing to the Prime Minister to say, whilst I feel duty-bound to accept the outcome of the inquiry, it dismissed all but 2 of the claims levelled against me. He continued, in setting the threshold for bullying so low, this inquiry has set a dangerous precedent. It will encourage spurious complaints against ministers and have a chilling effect on those driving change on behalf of your government. Dominic Raab firmly on the defence.
Almost all of the complaints against me were dismissed. And what this doesn't give you, it's a handful of very senior officials. None of the junior complaints were upheld. And I got on and dealt with hundreds of civil servants, thousands of other people in prison service and the court service. And what you've got is the risk here of a very small minority of very activist civil servants with the passive-aggressive culture of the civil service.
The PM accepting the resignation, but clearly pained, responding, "It is with great sadness that I have accepted your resignation," adding he'd always be grateful for Mr Raab's steadfast personal support and the dedication, commitment and loyalty he gave to the role of Deputy PM. For the opposition, the person to blame for all of this mess, the PM himself.
What I think this shows is the continual weakness of the Prime Minister, because there's a double weakness here. He should never have appointed him in the first place, along with other members of the Cabinet that shouldn't have been appointed. And then he didn't sack him. And even today, it's Raab who resigns rather than the Prime Minister who acts.
Early afternoon and new appointments came. Oliver Dowden, a long-time Sunak loyalist, appointed the new Deputy PM, and Alex Chalk is Justice Secretary. But fresh faces do little to change an uncomfortable reality. In the end, Mr Raab's departure was inevitable. With 2 bullying complaints upheld, he had no choice but to quit. But this is about more than just Mr Raab's career. It affects the Prime Minister too, with 3 of his cabinet ministers forced to leave government in the past 5 months. You really have to ask yourself, is this really a government of integrity, accountability and professionalism? Either way, what Raab's departure brings back to this place is a sense of scandal, exactly what this new PM was desperate to avoid.